Good evening. Welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees meeting. It is November 12, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, can we please have the roll call?
Yes, Ms. Braun?
Present.
Mr. Burning? Present. Mr. Hanala?
Present.
All the trustees are present.
Next, would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. The first thing we have on our agenda this evening are the approval of minutes from our regular session on October 8th, 2024, a special meeting that was held on October 15th, 2024, and our regular work session held on October 22nd, 2024. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, Mr. Burning, do we have the fiscal officer's report?
Yes, Mr. Hanala, for the month ending October 31st, 2024, the township's expenditures were $2,789,751.68, and the receipts were $1,509,999.83. That left us with an ending cash balance of $29,730,223.88. That includes obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. What I request from the board is a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, update, and current revenue reports for the period ending October 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And I want everyone to know that our financial reports are available here at the office, administration offices during weekdays, during regular business hours, and they're on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Analo.
All right, thank you very much. Next, moving over to departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Gilbert, do we have the Township Administrator's report?
We do, and admittedly, it's a short agenda tonight. The first of two action items are both liquor permit hearing notice requests. The first one being from Compton Capital at 1195 Compton Road. This is, I think, a transfer, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't believe there are any objections, correct?
No objections.
Okay. So with that, I would just ask for a motion to send the requisite paperwork to the Ohio Division of Liquor Control.
Okay, and
That we have no objections.
do we have a motion?
So moved.
Go
1,
ahead.
2, 3.
No, you got it.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll let the record reflect that I'll abstain from that vote because I represent Compton Capital.
All right, next we have the same for Blue Bird City Store, LLC at 10025 Hamilton Avenue. Again, I believe that's a transfer and there are no objections, is that correct?
Correct. No objections on that one as well.
For the same, just a motion to send the requisite paperwork to the Ohio Division of Liquor Control.
So moved.
Second. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, appreciate it. Looking at the personal update, again, compared to previous month, fairly light tonight. We did have the resignation in the fire department of Bram Huber as a part-time EMT firefighter and the resignation of Emmanuel Reese as a part-time EMT firefighter. We did have the hiring in the police department of Josh Thompson as a police officer, and the end of the seasonal job for Donnie Sanders, a laborer within the Public Works Department. No other activity in the other departments. And now I'll turn it over to Kim for Community and Venture Programs. I know you just had the big Arts Fair.
We did. We
show.
kind of did a back-to-back event. We had that Halloween Hootenanny last month and then the art fair last week. Both were really highly attended and went really well. The community was really out in full support, which was great to see. We have 3 more events for the end of the year. One is this Friday and Saturday, our all kids theater group is doing their show Finding Nemo, and it's going to be at the Finneytown Performing Arts Center. Friday, there's a 7 p.m. show, and then Saturday is a matinee 2 o'clock show. Tickets are available for that. And then selling out very quickly is our Lunch with Santa event on December the 8th, and that's from 11:30 till 2. The same day, we will flip the Grove Event Center for a second event, and that is with the Cincinnati Civic Orchestra for a holiday concert, and that is normally very, very full. The chairs go all the way to the very, very back wall. So it's always a really nice show, and that is from 4 to 6 on that Sunday, December the 8th.
Great. Thanks, Kim. So good turnout then the Friday night for the art show.
We did. We had about 250 people that came out. And this was our first year of actually having a student gallery also. And we invited our local high school students. 10 from each high school was nominated from their high school art teacher. And that was a big success. A couple of them even sold their artwork, which was a pleasant surprise for them. We had a kid that had a quilt. It was adorable, smaller quilt, and they had $15 on it. And we called them. We said, we can't sell it for $15. Their mother has to see this. We can't just give it away for $15. They ended up selling it for $50, so they will be very surprised.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to ask, did the Bob Marley painting sell?
It did not. It's still available if you're interested.
My wife will kill me. But I think it's pretty cool.
Maybe for your office.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Moving on to departmental activity reports. Scott, I hate to put you on the hot seat, but I know we wrapped up our paving projects for 24. Is that correct?
That is correct. As of today, we did a walkthrough, did a couple punch list items. It's to be expected with the job. I just spoke with the contractor this evening on that. We should have any of the small punch list items done within 2 weeks as well.
Okay.
So I think everything went well, minimal disruption, and completed, and it looks like a real good job.
How many streets was that about?
Well, I think we had 14 streets, 6.2 total miles of road.
Yeah.
We
I
have
think
that.
the total cost was somewhere in the $7-8 million range, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think another big dent in our need to fix the infrastructure in the township. Another 15 streets this year, and those are all full reconstructed streets. So that's why they're incredibly expensive. So that you can see it's almost $8 million worth of work to pave 15 streets.
Wow.
We have 400 in the township that we're responsible for. Now, in the last 7 or 8 years, we've paved a good chunk of those, somewhere in the neighborhood of 125 to 130 streets, and we've done almost, at this point, $21 million in paving over the last 7 or 8 years, and about 13 of that million came in outside revenue sources in the form of grants. So we were able to leverage the grant processes in order to get more streets done here, at least twice as many as we would have been able to otherwise. So I would say in the last 8 years, this board has repaved and reconstructed well over a quarter of the number of streets in the township that needed paving, which clearly wasn't all 400, but a good portion of those. So we will continue to do those remedial servicing treatments because, as we know, when a street gets into a failed state like these were, and we say failed in terms of we have to go in and completely tear it up down to the gravel and start over, it's 8 times more expensive to do that than to take care of the remedial treatments that need to be done during the life of that road. So we're going to balance our approach going forward as we have been with both reconstructing roads as well as going in and paving streets that some people may look at and say, why are you paving that when this street is falling apart? Well, it's because if we don't pave this, it's going to fall apart like that one, and then it's going to be 8 times more expensive to fix. It's much like taking care of the leak in your roof. It's better to do it early on than wait until it gets bad and you have to replace the entire thing. And that's how we have to approach our infrastructure improvements as well. So we'll continue that balanced approach, and I appreciate Scott and everything his crew and he in particular have done managing that project this year. These are not easy projects to manage, especially when you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of residents that are inconvenienced as you do these projects, and you try and make everyone happy. And so Scott has danced that dance all summer long and has done a phenomenal job of that. So I appreciate all the efforts. These are hundreds of phone calls you take, many hours of meeting with residents and making sure that they can get in and out of their properties. And at the same time, paving, again, miles of roads in order to accomplish these projects. So thanks again, Scott. Appreciate all the hard work. With that, I'll ask Chief Niehaus to come up and kind of let us know what's going on in PD.
Good evening. So it's been a busy past 30 days for the police department, but I think one of the things that I wanted to highlight is a new initiative that the police department is undertaking. And that initiative is really to enhance the traffic and pedestrian safety along the Winton Road corridor. And that really stretches from the Green Hills Corp line all the way to our southern Corp line at Winton and North Bend Road. I think this initiative, when we originally sat down and really looked at what we needed to accomplish with it, we looked at taking a very proactive approach to both increasing visibility in the corridor and doing coupled with targeted enforcement. I think studies and research have shown that visibility has a major impact on roadway safety and vehicular traffic. So we think a blended approach between doing visibility and targeted enforcement is probably the best approach for us at this time. The command staff and the supervisory staff at the police department sat down and came up with a creative way to be able to do it with the personnel that we have on staff, restructuring some scheduling, just to make sure during peak hours that we have that presence out here on Winton Road. I think when we look at what we're really trying to achieve, some of our biggest concerns, especially focus around pedestrian traffic, is our school zones, especially school zones at arrival and dismissal time, because there's a significant amount of pedestrian traffic that are out there. One of the approaches that we're trying with that visibility is just putting a police car in the middle of the road with the lights on, just to augment the school zone lights that are already flashing and the pavement markings, just as an awareness to get people to slow down. And then we're also supplementing that with targeted enforcement. So we could have an officer out there on the roadway that's just sitting in the median with his lights on, but there's officers also sitting on the side of the road making sure that people aren't speeding past him, creating that unsafe environment for pedestrians in the traffic. I think really the impetus on looking at this initiative was really the conversations that we've had with the Springfield Township residents. I think it should be known that their voice and their opinions were heard and understood, and I think this proactive approach with visibility and targeted enforcement should hopefully address a lot of these issues and concerns that we see along Winton Road. I think looking at what we're trying to achieve with this initiative is we're looking to enhance that safety for pedestrians and for the other motorists on the roadway. I think that's key and priority. And I think we're trying to also reduce the amount of traffic accidents, fatalities, and those instances of distracted or unsafe driving. I think we've seen it already in the first couple of weeks that we've had this in place. I think we've seen a major impact. And I think within the first week, we really seen kind of the efforts of the labor through social media platforms in the community talking about the police presence out there and how much it's appreciated. So we continue to work with the residents, we continue to work with the school districts and getting our officers out there just to make sure we're addressing these issues.
Also note, Chief, aren't we set to, I seen the purchase order today, set to employ some sort of digital speed limit signs, correct?
Yeah, so to augment what we're trying to do on the law enforcement side with the visibility and the targeted enforcement, we're also looking at adding additional signage, both at the southern end, the northern end of Winton Road, and then now in the main corridor here. Once again, just as a reminder, not only having the officers out there, but having the additional signage out there. I think something different too, another approach that the police department's trying that the community might not understand initially is a lot of our newer police cruisers now have the ability just for them to turn the solid lights on the corner of their light bars. So one of our approaches is, as a force multiplier, if you will, or to increase that invisibility, is the officers that are traveling up and down Winton Road to go to a business to take a report or go to pick up lunch or travel from one call for service to another, we're just asking them why they drive down Winton Road just to leave those solid lights on. So I think the community understands that when they see these police cars driving up and down Winton Road with the solid lights on, they're not being pulled over. They're not being looked at as committing a traffic infraction. We're just doing it for that extra level of visibility out there on the roadway.
And the digital board, the digital signs we're referring to, they're similar to the ones that you see when you head down the hill on Winton towards Spring Road.
Yep.
So we're going to employ 6 of those between North Bend and, I guess, the corporate line of Green Hills to try and address the traffic as well and see if we can just slow people down. Too bad we can't auto-populate Waze and show that there's an officer entirely down Winton Road. Maybe that would slow people down that are using that app as they drive. Maybe we could figure out a way to hack into that and do that, but
Yes.
that seems to work, at least it does for me when I'm traveling. So
I think it does for all of us.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Thank
Anything
you.
else going on that you want to highlight?
No, I think that's
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Chief Miller.
Good evening. So I just wanted to highlight some of the things the fire department's been doing as far as our training activity for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Other than, in addition to our daily routine fire and EMS training, we've held some specialized training and have been part of that as well. So the first one I want to talk about was the fire apparatus operator training. This is a 30-hour course that we were able to hold here in-house. We had 7 of our career personnel attend that class. It includes classroom instruction, hands-on activities as far as driving and pumping each of our fire apparatus. And with these 7 career personnel attending, we now have all of our full-time staff are certified FAO drivers for all of our vehicles. In addition, some of our extrication training over the past couple of weeks, we've had personnel engage in hands-on activities to basically practice safely removing trapped or people that are trapped in vehicles, machinery, and other confined spaces like that. So it's a yearly training we do, really to get our hands on and try different techniques and things like that that we can use. Other things we've done are fire operations with our Midwest Collaborative Fire Group. So this was a great training we held or were part of the past couple of weeks as well. It included multiple local fire departments: Coleraine, Forest Park, Springdale, Mount Healthy, North College Hill, Woodlawn, and Fairfield. Basically, this was a multi-agency, multi-department coordination so we can practice on enhancing communication, operational safety, just to try to keep our personnel safe, as well as different techniques and things that we can use to keep our residents safe as well. Some additional training that we've done just this past week, we also implemented a new highway safety plan. We actually worked with our police department on this. We attended their trainings. They attended some of ours to try to keep not only us safe, but our police officers safe, the community safe when we were out on the major highways and even Winton Road, North Bend Road, things like that, to be able to keep all of us safe and to make sure traffic and to get, nobody likes to be stuck in traffic. So we like to, if we have to shut down the highway or the roadway to get the patients safely in the ambulance, then we can try to do that as quick as possible to try to get the road back open. So some things we've been working with the police department as well. And then some additional trainings. We have EMS and fire instructor certifications. We've attended some fire service leadership trainings, our EMS protocol trainings. And then right now, all of our current supervisors are attending a comprehensive 50-hour incident command training. This is actually an online training, and in December or January, we're actually going to do 3 8-hour days of all scenarios to bring us up to that level. So that's all I have right now.
Well, I appreciate it, Chief, and we would be remiss if we didn't say that, the community came out last week and supported the fire department by passing the operational and capital, frankly, levy that we had on the ballot. And I think that's, frankly, a testament to their belief and support of what you and everyone in the department's doing to provide life-day safety services for the community. So I think you all should be not just proud that the levy passed, but proud that people supported your efforts and what you guys do every day. And I think that's just a signal that they appreciate it. So.
Yep, thank you very much.
Yeah. And what we're talking about that, I think anytime you take on an endeavor like that where you're trying to communicate that message in terms of the need and the factual information as it relates to the necessity for levies, this community isn't easy to talk to. And what I mean by that is, when you have 37,000 people spread over 17 square miles and 15,000 households, and some of them are completely fragmented from the sort of the more connected parts of the township. We have islands out there. This is a difficult community to get information to. And so, I think a combination of what you and your staff did with the open house and getting the information out there, what the union did, helping get the information out there. And then, Caitlin here, our community engagement coordinator, with all of her efforts leading up to that, getting the information out with the fire department and the tutorials as far as what they do and what important trainings they do and the equipment that they utilize to provide those services, as well as the factual information as it relates to the necessity for the levy. I want to thank Caitlin for her heroic efforts in getting that out there. That's not easy as well. And so since bringing her on board, obviously we've been able to get a lot of things out there with the township through our social media channels. I think that's probably going forward through the website as well as social media, how we're going to be able to get information out about what we're doing at the township, and she's done a great job with that. She met our yearly goals in terms of the increases in social media presence months ago. So we're way beyond where we thought we would be even at the end of the year. And while it wasn't fire related, I'm happy to say not many people can say this. She had one post that actually reached almost 2 million views on social media. So that isn't easy to do. And so I appreciate all of Caitlin's efforts as well. So thank you.
Very good.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
So with that concludes the administrative report, unless there are any questions or comments from the board.
Okay. With that, then, we'll move on to our resolutions this evening. The first resolution we have is resolution number 98, 2024, which are supplemental appropriations in the general fund, road and bridge fund, police district fund, fire district fund, ambulance and emergency medical services fund, and the lighting districts fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 99, 2024, a resolution approving a text amendments related to adult use cannabis dispensaries in Springfield Township, under the Springfield Township zoning resolution. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 100, 2024, approving an application for a zone map amendment from R1 Residence District to RPUD Residential Planned Unit Development and approval of preliminary development plans. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Mr. Hunterlaw, before we move on, I think it's important to note, Resolution 99 and Resolution 100 were related to a public hearing that we had here yesterday relative to these two zoning cases, the first being the text amendment, the second being the property in the northeast portion of the township that was proposed to be developed for housing under that PUD plan. And so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that we did have public hearings regarding these, and that took place yesterday with the board. And these actions tonight are simply to sort of ratify the motions that were made last night as part of the zoning hearing processes.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Next, moving on to resolution number 101, 2024, establishing assessment for abatement of dangerous property condition and certifying the same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 102, 2024, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 103, 2024, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance, and certifying the same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next on the agenda, do we have any old business this
I
evening?
do not.
I do not.
Any new business?
I do not.
I do not.
We're now to the citizens' participation part of the meeting. If there's anyone here that would like to address the board, we would ask that you come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and be happy to listen. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Charlene Myers, and I'm with Focus Cincinnati, and we operate out of Holy Trinity St. Nicholas Church, 7000 Winton Road. This year, we're excited because we have our Thanksgiving dinner coming up on November 24th, and it is at 5:30. We have over 200 guests that are signed up, and that's going to be the biggest ever. Pre-COVID, we had 100. Then we missed a year. And then last year, I think was the first year we were back, and we had about 88 people sign up and only 45 showed up. This year, we have 200 signed up, so even if we get 100 that show up, that's more than last year. But we're pretty confident that we're going to get high numbers to show up, so we welcome you all to come. It is between 5:30 and 6:30 on November 24th. And it's always good food. I don't have to speak to that because I know you have all gone to the festival and have tasted great food there. So I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? It appears that there is not. Anything else before the board?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting-
Thank you all for coming.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.